interesting that Marussia decided not to run a second car. They had Max Chilton in their normal car, and they just prepared the other car like normal, did absolutely everything normal as though he was going to race, but just left his car in the garage. I mean, it was a touching
Gesture.
sign, but by the same token, and I don't want to speak for him, but I feel like he has that hard-earned result in Monaco where he got 2 points for the team. I feel like he'd want the team to be out there defending those points.
Oh, yeah. That is a really good way of putting it. I had not thought about it that way. Yeah, I reckon they probably would, but at the same time, I think you just take gestures like this on at face value. You know, their intention is correct.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not taking his car out for the rest of the season. I'm sure there'll be a new guy in next week or a couple of weeks.
Yeah, no, I'm sure that's right. I'm sure it was just something to do with the fact that there was only 7 days between Suzuka and Russia.
Yeah,
things like the driver market has been dominating the news headlines for the most part.
Yeah. What's the conversion rate like in the driver market right now?
Down.
Yeah.
I'd say the all ordinaries are looking pretty ordinary.
I think that Juan Alonso trades a little higher than one Button currently.
Yeah, you're probably right.
Yeah. You're better off having your money in the Alonso camp.
Well, he's been told by Ferrari, you don't have to go home, but you can't stay here, at least by Luca de Montezemolo. I know Luca de Montezemolo doesn't work for Ferrari anymore, but he's pretty much said, yeah, Ferrari's going to leave. I still believe that he's going to go to McLaren. It's getting complicated, but there's rumours going around that Alonso is holding out for a 1-year deal with McLaren because he wants to leave these options open in case someone leaves Mercedes in 2016 so that he can just switch over.
Yeah, which is, there's a lot of time between now and then. You don't go... I think that's a bit crazy to be like, well, Mercedes is good now. I'm sure they'll be really good in 2016, so I'm going to try and keep my options open for that. No way, man.
Like that he's not being optimistic. Like, maybe the team that I go to will be good by then.
Yeah, exactly. You're going to McLaren. Like, that's the rumour is he's already got a tentative deal with Honda. He's already promised them they've already said, hey, you'll be driving one of our cars, like one of our powered cars next year, right? And he's like, I'd love to, but cheeky Jensen Button's still sitting there, not making a move. And what's going on?
Well, McLaren have said that they will most likely make an announcement before the end of the year about who their drivers will be next year. So at worst case, we've got, a month left before we find out what's going on? Yeah, I don't know if I can wait that long. I've already got short fingernails as it is from biting them.
Oh, that's right. And I'm sure... Well, Button's basically come out and said... Well, has his exact words pretty much are, if I can't have a competitive F1 seat next year, I am going to go and race in endurance racing.
Yeah.
I'm going to go hang out with my bro, Mark Webber, at Porsche, and drive these weird-looking cars around all the time for really long periods of time.
That could be a strong team.
It would be an old team. A
lot of experience.
Yeah, I don't know how strong Jensen Button is as far as, lifting stuff. He's got big neck muscles, I'm sure.
Bravo.
Just the look on your face. Resignation. You're like, he's really going to make that joke, is he? All right. Comedy podcast it is, then.
I may have to change our designation from comedy to something else. I do know that the worst possible result for Fernando Alonso is that he leaves Ferrari and they start getting really good. I know that the new chairman, Sergio Marchionne, has said that he wants Ferrari to kick ass and he wants them to do it quickly.
Yeah,
that's a great quote, I reckon.
Yeah, it is. I like the follow-up quote, which is the more damning one, which is Ferrari not winning in F1 is not Ferrari. It's like, no, you've definitely been Ferrari this whole time, just not winning.
Yeah. For a long time now.
Yeah, you have been not good for pretty much the entire time Alonso was there. So
I reckon that this guy could probably write the script for the sequel to Top Gun, because he obviously knows how to get a soundbite. He knows how to craft it and get it into the media.
Yeah, he's done some good PR publicity work for Ferrari, because they really desperately needed it. They're not in the media nearly enough.
Yeah. But obviously, everyone's trying to sort of pry open the drivers, especially Vettel and Alonso, and find out what's going on. They both more or less said the same thing. Like, when it happens, when it gets announced, it's going to be so obvious, you guys. You guys are going to look so stupid. Is it obvious? We can kind of say, well, yeah, Vettel will go to Ferrari and Fernando would go to McLaren. But if it was an obvious choice, if that was the obvious choice, why wouldn't they just announce it?
Yeah, why hasn't it just happened yet? Why isn't it just
this idea that it's obvious keeps throwing me. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, maybe. Well, maybe Fernando is off to Sauber. It's so obvious.
It's just so obvious.
So obvious.
So obvious, bro.
Yeah, his brother works there. You didn't know that. No. Okay.
Did you have any news that you wanted to mention?
I like the Ferrari. This was a little bit earlier. A few days, a little bit further back, that Ferrari were like, hey, we totally want you to test at Abu Dhabi. after the last race. And Red Bull were like, he's contracted 5 days after that race. So, no, he won't be testing for anybody. We're not giving him any development parts. We're not looking at any of his data anymore. But no, you can't have him. Yeah. He's got to come in and work that fifth day. He's coming in. He's got to file papers. Yeah, I reckon they'll treat him like the work experience boy after the last race for those 5 days. Get him organised, packing boxes.
Yeah, like it's
filing.
It's a little bit like when school finishes and there's nothing to do on the last day. You've already done all your tests, so you just sit around watching Red Dwarf on VHS. I don't know if he'll be doing that, but I mean, it's such a weird thing to be like. First of all, first weird point is, why are they testing 5 days after the last race? Give them a break. Let them have a little bit of off time.
No, it's because they're all there. That's what it is, right? They're all just there in Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi's got nothing else. Like, there's nothing else going on. Why not have the cars just keep going?
There's this rumour now. Obviously, New Jersey has had the bum rush. And they're like, let's go and race in Las Vegas again. Remember how that was so successful 3 decades ago when we raced at that casino car park? Let's go back there again. I don't know. I've got a feeling in my waters that this is going to be just another bit of a tease. I feel like this is manufactured to get a bit of buzz going ahead of the US Grand Prix.
You wouldn't bet your house on it, Rod?
Well, I'd put it all on red.
Yes, exactly. Apparently Herman Tilke's been to Vegas and mapped all the track out, and Vegas are willing to pay Bernie Eccleston a bunch of money to have it. I mean, none of those signs are good. The idea that, Herman Tilke, first of all, organising a street track in Vegas, it's going to be so boring. And like when you think Vegas, street track in Vegas, you're like, they'll be going past the Bellagio. It's like, no, they're purposely keeping it away from all of the hotels so that the hotels and casinos can still just run properly.
Yeah. I was about 2 years old the last time we went to Las Vegas to race, but my understanding was that you take the race there to try and attract in all of the big gambling whales, and you sit them down in front of the roulette or the baccarat table, and the casinos rake it in. So I don't understand why you would have a race there if it's not around the casinos.
Yeah, crazy. Put Formula E there. That seems like a good place for them.
Yep.
I want to talk about how there's 2 other things. The first one is Lotus have finally got confirmation they're getting Mercedes power units next season. Good on them. I'm sure Mercedes was just like, yeah, sure, you can have the power units. I don't care. Awesome.
This feels like I feel like Lotus have been holding out for this. Like, how McLaren is switching to Honda, and now you can supply one more team. We're one more team.
We're one more team. We're another team that has money. Like, Pasta's still here. He's happily write you a check for some power units. Don't even worry about it. Which makes Red Bull basically just the works team for Renault now. I don't even know if Renault is even necessarily going to be much more in the sport as far as being known for their power units. I think Red Bull sort of is going to take over that whole development process and just be like, these are basically Red Bull engines now, right?
Yeah,
like it says Renault somewhere on the car.
I heard a rumour they'd be co-branded with Infinity.
Yeah.
Infinity Renault engines.
It's a funny turnaround because Infinity had said that they weren't necessarily going to stay around with Red Bull for much longer. But I reckon if they can get their name on the engines, or the power units, I think that's a big plus. That goes into their marketing push. It does. Yep. And it opens up, I don't know, it goes down. I wonder what that means for Toro Rosso as well. Are they going to keep running Renault engines and that kind of thing? Interesting.
Oh, surely they'll have to.
Yeah.
But maybe they could run little mini engines, like the way that they have like mini drivers that grow into big drivers. They'll just run little small versions of the engines.
So you're saying that depending on the age of the driver, the car size should be adjusted. Like Jensen Button's car should be really, really, really big. And Max Verstappen should be a go-kart.
I mean, Max Verstappen, I can't remember what race it was, but he went and did practice, and then he had to, someone had to drive him home because he was like, oh yeah, by the way, I know I just drove an F1 car at 350 Ks. I need someone to give me a lift home because I don't have a license.
I can't drive a normal car.
Drive.
No way.
Nope.
You know what I haven't been able to work out, Rod? My finances. You know who can work out their finances? Pretty much anybody who works anywhere adjacent or for Mercedes F1. £10,000 bonus for 700 employees. They don't have to share that £10,000 between 700 employees. They're all getting at least £10,000 for winning the Constructors' Championship. And I thought that was a lot of money. I thought, that's like at least £7 million. But then they get do they get like €30 million for winning the World Championship or something? It's mental.
I don't have the numbers in front of me. It is an insane amount of money. I'm sure it's only a fraction of what they're actually going to get for winning the championship. And I'm sure it was an unexpected boon. And,
yes.
I'd say this too. They've all earned it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, it's fantastic. I love it. Good on the team for just going like, hey, we all pull this together, and here's your bonus. You won't get one next year for winning because we expect you to win it, but so take it now, put it in the bank.